Oh my goodness. Well, welcome in everybody. Oh my goodness. Welcome. Ooh. Welcome. All right. Listen. Listen, let's just go ahead and get live on every platform. Oh my gosh. Let's just get into it. Let's get into it. All right. We are live on Twitch. We're live on Twitter. We're live on Facebook. We're live on LinkedIn. And of course, we are live on YouTube, which is the main platform. I am your host, Tonya TKO. Today, we're going to be looking at footage that you all have sent me from the Michael Noak trial. Brother Polight, he was found guilty. I heard he pled guilty. Let me tell you all something. We went live this morning, and I told you all that I had a full day ahead of me, and that I'm in the process of being certified as a master composter. And in an effort to just be on the up and up with health, I walked over 5 miles today. I got up and ran out of here so quickly earlier today that I left my wallet and my ID and everything at home. In New York, it was a sweltering, balmy day. I was walking in some hot sun. I got the tan of, you can't really see the tan on but it's there. I am beat. So I did not research this. I did not want to go live, but I wanted to cover this story. So you and me are going to research this together. This is what my days look like behind the scenes, going through stories, clicking, reading, timestamping, all of that stuff. So we're just going to do this live because I promise you, if I had to sit here and do this by myself, I would not be doing it. So welcome in, everybody. Michael Noak was found guilty. He assaulted his girlfriend's 14-year-old daughter. His fluids were found on her. This is a video that a person took. It doesn't have that many views, but it's by Tonya the Closer. And so we're getting ready to look at their phone recording of the trial. There's also somebody who did a 5-hour broadcast on it. I don't know how long it was. I heard that the mother spoke and all this other stuff. For those of you who do not know who Michael Noak is, there's a degenerate who goes by the name of Brother Polight. He apparently is from the New York Harlem scene, and let me see if I can pull up a thing, because I pulled up a website. This is, do you all remember this right here? I covered this story. He was on a park bench. If you type my name and Brother Polight's name into Google, you'll see I've done about 7 videos on him, right? This was me before my fitness journey, my face so plump and cute. So nonetheless, he was disrespecting this child assault victim of Dr. York. He was screaming at the man. The whole thing was embarrassing. It was...
York's case was reported as the largest prosecution for child assault ever directed at a single person in the history of the United States, both in terms of number of victims and number of incidents. Sonetta called Polight baby Dr. York.
Oh, my. So that's how that begins.
You mean to tell the world that none of these children had enough sense in their mind to go tell their parent that this isn't right? I've been touched sexually.
York's case was reported as the largest...
So Brother Polight has been problematic for a long time. For those of you who remember some of the footage I covered, this is a man who claims he has a whole bunch of wives. These if you Google my name and his name, you can just catch up because I'm not going to be able to go over everything in here. He has a whole bunch of wives. He calls himself righteous, but he walks around like a pimp with some big furs on his women in scantily clad, and he's supposed to be in the conscious black community and all this other foolishness. It's just pure nonsense, nonsensical stuff, right? So nonetheless, there was a website I went to that talked a little bit about, oh gosh, we're going to get into the thing. I'm giving you all a few moments to get in here. I'm just going to do Control H, because I looked this thing up. It was on Medium. And here, this is it right here. So this person wrote an article with Brother Polight and his wives and all the ways that he's getting down. And I started reading, and he was like, if he did this, this is so unfortunate. It's showing, well, this is the conscious man with his women in red patent leather and sitting on top cars. And you should see him with the furs and looking just a hot, stinking mess, right? Nonetheless, go just look this foolishness up. I want to get through this. I just want to get through this. You know what? I heard an apple. Let's go ahead and let's turn this on half hour. Let's do 25 minutes on the clock, and we'll take our first break in 25 minutes. And this is not the right screen here. Let's see what we have here.
16 years, a second-degree felony, punishable by up to 15 years state prison. Lewd and lascivious conduct on a child under 16 by a defendant 18 or over, a second-degree felony, punishable by up to 15 years state prison. Count 4, lewd and lascivious exhibition on a child under 16 years, defendant over 18, a second-degree felony, punishable by up to 15 years state prison. And contributing to the dependency of a child, a first-degree misdemeanor, punishable by up to 1 year in jail. And then count 6 is interference with custody, a third-degree felony, punishable by up to 5 years state prison. The state has now filed an amended information today, charging you with the following: aggravated child abuse, great bodily harm, a first-degree felony, punishable by up to 30 years state prison. Count 2 is aggravated child abuse, great bodily harm, a first-degree felony, punishable by up to 30 years state prison. And contributing to the dependency of a child, a first-degree misdemeanor, punishable by up to 1 year in jail.
So with all of these up to years, he only got 7 years?
Jail. It is my understanding that you wish to plead guilty to this new information. You would be adjudicated guilty, and your sentence has been memorialized in a 4-page plea agreement. Did you have the opportunity to go over this plea agreement with your lawyer?
He did a plea deal to be able to get the 7 years. Oh, man.
Yes. Okay. I do need the defendant to initial each page because there are not initials on these pages. All right. Let me know when it's done.
And here's a person on my broadcast named Troy that says the mother should be charged for child endangerment. She was dating this man. You all just have a bloodlust for black women was she even black? I don't even know. You all just have a bloodlust for women to suffer. The mother effer who touched her did the crime and is getting the time. People like you, people need to probably look into your background. Your son, contact me. Give me your first and last name. Let's take a look at what's going on behind the scenes with you, sir. Because I found that the loudest ones, the loudest, are the ones with all those skeletons rattling in their closet. And they're loud because they want to distract from what they're doing. Remember how Brother Michael Noak screamed and hollered about how the charges were dropped and all this, that, and the other. Yeah, contact me. Let's take a look at what's going on inside your closet, sir. Because I know a distraction technique when I see one.
Boy, that nigga gonna have a rough time in jail.
Well,
Yes, sir. Now, it is my understanding, Mr. Noak, that you have gone over this plea agreement with your lawyer, and I want to go over it with you, not each and every aspect of it, but the major components of the plea agreement. But what I am going to ask is for the state to tell me the general terms of the plea agreement, and then we will go into the details on the contract. Go ahead.
Your Honor, the plea agreement includes an adjudication, 7 years of state prison, followed by 10 years of reporting probation. As a condition of probation, the defendant will...
What did you say, 10 years probation?
10 years reporting probation.
Okay.
The defendant will complete the MDSO program. The defendant will not be allowed to have unsupervised contact with children. The defendant will have specific terms regarding where he may work and the ability to wear a uniform. There are additional terms of restitution, of which $5,000 has been agreed to be paid upfront within 24 hours, mailed to the to the victim, and additional restitution to be paid out on a monthly basis once he is out of custody. And that monthly amount is highlighted in the written terms of the plea agreement.
how much is it?
Additionally, there will be a stay-away order from victim TS and her mother, which is also mentioned in the plea agreement.
What is the...
He's from New York, but I don't believe this took place in New York. I covered this when it first happened. Can you all remind us of where this took place?
The total amount of the restitution?
The total amount of restitution is $25,000.
That's it?
All right.
Wow.
The defendant's counsel wants to be providing probation with the proof of the $5,000 being paid.
Yes, Your Honor. Okay. All right. Okay, so Mr. Noak, the terms of the plea agreement are as what the prosecutor just stated, that you are going to be entering a plea of guilty to the 2 counts of aggravated child abuse and 1 count of contributing to the delinquency of a minor. You will be adjudicated guilty, which is a criminal conviction on your record.
He did. Listen to what it's saying. It's not saying that he pled guilty to the SA charges. It's saying he pled guilty to the child abuse and the delinquency charges. So he's not going to be a registered offender.
Do you also understand, sir, that by entering into this plea that it may subject you to involuntary civil commitment proceedings set forth in Florida statutes 394.
It said Florida, so this is Florida.
.910 through 394.
I want to try to rewind this, but it's not even.
.931. Do you understand everything that I've said thus far?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I want to also advise you, sir, that you are going to be sentenced to 7 years in state prison, to be followed by 10 years of reporting probation. In addition to any of these special conditions of probation, you will also participate in and successfully complete a mentally disordered sex offender treatment program.
Okay.
That you are also not eligible. Okay, you may, according to the state, you may be eligible for early termination if all of the conditions of your probation have been completed, that you have had no violations of your probation, and that you have not been arrested for any other criminal offense. Is that correct, State?
And to clarify, the terms stated in 5 is there is no prohibition on early termination. However, there is a requirement that any modification to this agreement be agreed by the state and the court.
Okay. All right, sir. Now, with respect to this plea agreement, I have on each page next to defendant's initials MN. Did you, in fact, affix those initials to each page?
I did.
And have you reviewed each and every component of this plea agreement going through page 1 and through page 4?
I have.
Now, it says on page 4, having read the above mentioned terms of this plea agreement and having been advised by my counsel David Terrace, I, Michael Noak, freely and voluntarily enter into this plea agreement and agree to abide by all terms and conditions of this plea agreement, and agree that failure to comply with any terms or conditions within this agreement constitutes a violation of probation and subjects me to be sentenced to the statutory maximum penalties provided by law for the crimes for which I am now pleading guilty. And then it has a signature over the name Michael Noak. Is that in fact your signature, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right. And I am now going to place my signature on this plea agreement, in that I am now going to be ratifying this plea agreement as negotiated between the state of Florida and your attorney. Has anybody, including your lawyer, told you anything differently than what I've just told you?
No.
Are you under the influence of any alcohol, drugs, or medication affecting your ability to understand me?
No.
Is anybody forcing, threatening, or coercing you to enter into this plea?
No.
Do you understand that if you're not a United States citizen, the entry of this plea will have negative immigration consequences, including deportation and removal?
Understand.
You had the right, sir, to have gone to a jury trial where your lawyer had the ability to compel the attendance of witnesses on your behalf, the ability to confront and cross-examine the witnesses and evidence against you. You had the right to testify just like any other witness, or remain silent, and your silence could not have been used against you if you went to a jury trial. You also had the right to appeal any mistakes that I would have made during the course of the trial, and the right to hold the state of Florida to the burden of proving these charges beyond a reasonable doubt. Do you understand, sir, that by entering into this plea, that you are giving up all of these rights and we will not have a jury trial?
I do.
Have you discussed this plea with your lawyer?
Yes.
Has he answered all of your questions?
Absolutely.
Are you satisfied with your lawyer's services and advice?
Definitely.
Did the state provide all the discovery in your possession to the defense?
Yes.
Did the defense review all of the discovery in your possession with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
And do both sides know of any physical evidence containing DNA that would exonerate the defendant?
No.
Sorry, Your Honor.
And do both sides stipulate to a factual basis for this?
I'm not mentioning any names, but there was somebody that needed to get out of here. Let's go back. Come on. Play with it. I'm not in the mood. I'm tired. I need to rest. I want to get through this. And this is a serious subject, and some of you on here playing games. This isn't funny. A child was hurt. And we're all human beings. We're all human. A child was hurt. Under what circumstances is that funny? Huh? Under what circumstances does that warrant trolling? Come on. Stop it.
Plea.
Yes.
And the court has reviewed the arrest affidavit, makes a finding that there is a factual basis for the plea. Mr. Noak, are there any witnesses or is there any evidence that you wanted your lawyer to investigate or me to receive before entering into this plea?
No.
All right. The court finds that the defendant understands the nature of the charges against him and the consequences of this plea, that he has been represented by competent and effective assistance of counsel with whom he says he is satisfied. I find the defendant has knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waived his rights. All statutory fines, court costs, and surcharges will be assessed. Counsel, do you waive PSI?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes,
All right. Now, Mr. Noak, you do understand, as I mentioned to you before, that the state, as they had articulated earlier, you may be eligible for early termination as long as certain conditions are met. That means no violations. You've done everything that you were supposed to do. You've not been arrested for any criminal offense, and the state is in agreement with it as well as the court's ratification. On the other hand, sir, if you violate any terms and conditions of this probation, and that includes getting arrested for any other criminal offense, that you could be subject to the maximum period of time in prison, which by my calculations is 61 years state prison. You do understand that?
Yeah.
Okay.
And knowing all of this, do you still wish to enter into this plea?
Yes.
All right. The court finds the defendant, as I mentioned before, understands the nature of the charges against him and the consequences of this plea, that he's been represented by competent and effective assistance of counsel with whom he says he is satisfied. I find the defendant has knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waived his rights. All statutory fines, court costs, and surcharges will be assessed. Is there anything further as it relates to Mr. Noak? I do have on the Zoom that the
You know, listen, I am not a friend of bums, okay? I'm not a friend of men who hurt women and children. The other day, I showed greater context in the situation with the woman who was hit in the face with the brick, and there have been certain people with penises who have come over to my channel, and they think that I'm somebody whom I am not. This is not a safe space for you bums, all right? This isn't a safe space for you. Stop this madness. This is unbelievable. This is unbelievable. Let's continue going forward.
the victim's mother wanted to address the court.
Correct. And Your Honor, nothing more from the state except to let Your Honor know if you can unmute the victim's mother, and she will be listed as victim Noak in the Zoom, and she's requesting, pursuant to Marcy's law, that her identity remain anonymous. So for that reason, she will not be stating her name, but she will be making a statement regarding this case.
Where would it be?
It should say victim, and then in parentheses Noak. Sorry. You see it?
Oh, wow. The victim's mother is going to speak. Oh, snap. I feel like I need to get a drink. Like I need to make a smoothie real quick. Oh my goodness. Listen. Oh my goodness. I gotta get a smoothie. I gotta prepare myself for this. The victim's mother is going to speak. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay, listen, we're gonna take a quick break. We're going to take a quick 3-minute break. I'm going to go blend up some fruit real quick. And then we're going to come back and we're going to listen to the mother. I'm shook and stunned right now. I did not know the mother was going to speak. Wow. Okay, so listen. Get up out of your seats. It's time for us to take a little bit of a movement, a little movement segue. Listen. Get up, and then I will see you all in 3 minutes. Oh my gosh, I can't believe this. All right. All right. I'm back. I'm sorry. Whew. I had to get myself prepared for this. Whew. Sorry for that long delay or that long pause. Oh my goodness, I had to ready myself. And I make my smoothies with a stick blender, and the strawberries got stuck up in the stick blender. Oh my goodness, the music ended. I'm sorry. I'm back though, I'm back. All right, if you all are ready, I'm ready. The victim's mother is getting ready to speak. Whew, just brace yourself. Brace yourself. Okay, come, let's go. Whew.
Victim Noak.
Okay, yes, 1 second. All right, you may unmute, ma'am.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Oh my goodness. I'm shook, y'all. I'm shook. Whew, I gotta calm down. This is strawberry, blueberry, flaxseed, some apple cider vinegar, and I didn't have enough time to add anything else, but and a little bit of stevia sweetener, or artificial sweetener, or natural, not sugar sweetener. Okay, whatever.
Good morning. All right, so what I'd like you to do is, well, you don't want to give your name, so at this point, just go ahead and you can give us an impact statement. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Michael Noak. This is the first time I have spoken publicly about what you've done to my daughter and I. I have gracefully remained silent the last 2.5 years. 2.5 years of pain, shock, disbelief, PTSD, constant nightmares, and daily triggers. Trying to help my daughter heal when I'm not even healed myself. What you have done to my daughter, myself, and my entire family is inexcusable. You hurt us all. You made me believe that you were such a great man and you could do no wrong. You made me fully trust you, and for that, my daughter trusted you too. But the truth is, you're a monster. A demon. The very first time that I allowed you to be alone with my daughter, the very first time, and you couldn't even help yourself.
Damn.
You told me you was going to be right back. You were going downstairs. You were going to grab food and take vacation pictures. You told me that you wanted to have a one-on-one talk with her about loving and respecting me as a great mother that I was and am. And I actually believed you. I believed that you were going to bring her right back. I thought you were going to have this trusting conversation with her that you promised me. Her and I both trusted you. For a grown man to violate a child who trusted him, you should be ashamed of yourself. You plotted on me and my little girl. The entire time you knew what you planned to do. Isolate, intoxicate, then violate my baby. Shame on you. I trusted you to bring her right back. You were supposed to bring her back the same way that you took her. Instead, you drugged her and took advantage of her. And you sexually abused her. You forced alcohol down her throat. You then forced her to see things that no child should ever have to see. You forced her to feel things that no child should have to feel. You forced her to accept violence that no child should ever have to endure. You forced drugs in her that no human should ever even ingest. She's my child. My baby. How could you? You could have killed her with all the drugs that were found in her system.
Oh my God.
And you thought your master plan was mapped out perfectly, huh? You thought I'd be dumb enough to believe you over my child. And you thought that money would blind me. You thought I was going to be so blinded that I wouldn't notice when you returned her with bruises all over her body and her mouth busted, uncontrollably shaking. Absolutely not. And although you executed your plan, and you got what you wanted those couple of hours, you actually failed. Because look where you're at right now. You have created a lifetime of trauma for my daughter and I. Before you, we never knew evil existed. You brought so much evil into our lives that early morning, and I'll never forget. I called you like 50 times and you wouldn't answer me. And I called her too, but you took her phone.
Kidnapping.
You drugged my baby and you gave her no way to seek help. You left me no way to contact her or even know where she was. I get physically sick now whenever I'm away from my daughter because of you. Something as simple as her going to school, I'm in panic mode. Because I'm scared when she comes back, she's going to be hurt all over again. I constantly have flashbacks of that night. And what she lives with is not okay. She feels uncomfortable around people and will live with this forever, and this is not fair to her. She never deserved this. Shame on you for forcing evil on our youth. And you know, for a year, I questioned, how could you even do this to us? Her and I did nothing wrong to you. We trusted you. I moved across the country because I believed everything that you told me. But it was pure manipulation I see now. All you do is specialize in selling false dreams. How can you do this to an innocent child and mother who simply trusted you? We did nothing wrong. But you know what? I'm done breaking my head trying to question or figure out how you could do such a thing. It's so simple to me now. You're just a sick man.
Exactly.
A man you can have a plethora of women, but you secretly prefer to have a child. And it's so clear now. I will never be able to fully trust another person due to the betrayal that you've shown me. And for that, I was not willing to trust 6 strangers and go to trial. Nor was I going to put my daughter through an additional trauma. This plea was in our best interest. You and I both know the evidence is extremely substantial. But even with that, I refuse to have my child be tormented when she's done nothing wrong. All she holds is the truth. And I will say this. Although you were so worried about being labeled a sex offender, you did us a huge favor by admitting to guilt, period. So for that, I thank you. I truly thank you. Yes, mitigation took place and I allowed it as long as it meant you going to prison and you getting true help. Because true help means no more victims. The fact that your only non-negotiable was to accept a sex crime shows exactly the type of man that you are. You know what you did in that hotel room. I know what you did, and my daughter knows what you did. DNA doesn't lie. There's no reason why your DNA should have been found on my baby. And yes, I satisfied your bogus request to not be labeled a sex offender, but it doesn't take away from who you truly are. I wasn't going to waste any time going back and forth with you over a label. God will judge you for exactly the person he knows you to be. A sexual predator. So rest assured, jail time equals jail time. And I pray that during your 10 years of sex offender probation, you actually receive the treatment that you need and it helps heal your sick mind and get the thoughts of being with children out of it. All you care about is your pretend image. But I know exactly who you are now. You want to be this public figure, but you want to do all your evil acts in secret. You're so self-centered. That's why the last time I saw you on February 27, 2021, you fought me. You tried to hold me hostage from taking my daughter to the hospital. I'll never forget that cowardly look in your eyes. I'll never forget it. You were so scared. You were so scared because you realized you messed with the wrong one. Your last words to me, you held me and said, please don't go. You're going to ruin my career. Well, today, September 6, 2023, my last words to you are, I hope the next 17 years of your life, you're reminded of the disgusting, terrifying, unforgettable acts that you've done to my innocent daughter. Shame on you. And although you've caused a tremendous amount of trauma for myself and my daughter, we will and will always be superior of you because a successful, honest career is something that you could never, ever have. We will both continue to stand against violence. My daughter will continue to persevere and be bright and intelligent and a courageous young woman that she is. So, Michael Noak, I hope you enjoy prison, and God bless you.
Right. Thank you, ma'am.
I just need to take a breather. I just need to take a breather after that. Whew. So it seems like the mother agreed to this plea deal because she didn't want her daughter to be subjected to trial. And Michael Noak was dead set against the sex offender label. That's why I was wondering why none of the sex offender charges were on there. Wow. Man, I see it's been 2.5 years. So I wish that she would have pushed for that SA charge to stay on him so that he'd have to register wherever he went, because because most people won't hear her statement. Share this video so that people can hear her statement, but most people won't hear her statement, and he's going to come out of this and be like, "Oh, I never did the SA part." Cuz he pled guilty to the delinquency of a minor when it's so much more than that. Oh gosh. I wish he would have had to register. I wish. Let's go forward.
Ma'am, thank you for your courage for speaking. It is heartbreaking, and my heart goes out to you and your daughter. All right. The defendant will be remanded to the Department of Corrections.
CPS.
He's given credit for
Misdemeanor judge.
we can do CTS on the misdemeanor, yes. He's giving credit time, whatever he's gotten in.
Oh,
Yes, yes. All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
So are they giving him time served, the 2.5 years? Because he's been out.
All right. Barbara, is Alvin? Where is he? Alvin? Huh?
Okay.
Okay. Let him know we're ready to go.
Let me get 5 minutes.
Go do that. Really late. I will on the record 5 minutes.
I think that's pretty much it. That seems like it's it. Wow. This was something else. I don't even know what to say. I'm speechless personally. I'm speechless. I'm speechless. I'm speechless. I'm going to read the apples that have come in. But I'm speechless. So he was dead set against the SA part. I wish that he would have that as the scarlet letter on his forehead for the rest of his life. But the mother says that God knows what he did. Everybody behind the scenes knows what he did. I just wish he would have had that scarlet letter. Someone's telling me to pull up his mugshot. I'll pull up his mugshot. Wow. And the crazy part about it is that people are still going to believe him. People are still going to believe him. So here's his mugshots. Here's one mugshot. Here's another mugshot. That's him and Dr. York. So those are his mugshots. I don't even know what to say to all of this. This right here is it's just crazy. It's crazy. What are your thoughts on all of this? I have no comment because it's like, this dude, that poor child, because this man, he, and the thing is, he's grotesque. He's grotesque. He's grotesque. He's grotesque. Gosh, my head is hurting. How long have we been on? We've been on for 57 minutes, so I'm not going to stay on much longer. I'll look at your comments and then I'll read the rest of the. I didn't even read the apples yet. I'll read them right now. Let me look at some of your comments. LaShondra is saying typical black male behavior. This actually isn't typical black male behavior. This behavior is not typical for black men. It's not. And listen, and if we are looking at the FBI data on SA, men, listen, white men have the largest rates of SA. I don't know if that's because it's reported more. I really don't know, but their numbers are larger. Most men are not SA offenders. They're not. Most men are not. A minority of men carry out the majority of these crimes. And I want us to stay vigilant, right? I want us to stay vigilant in protecting our children. Someone is saying it is typical male behavior. No, you see, typical is average, the average man. What does typical mean? We can look up typical, right? We can look up typical. But let's see, typical definition. Okay, so this is what typical means. Typical means having the distinctive qualities of a particular type of person or thing. A typical day. Characteristics of a particular person or thing. So in order for it to be typical, the vast majority of, let's look up One Look. So let's go to onelook.com. In order for it to be typical, this has to be the vast majority, and this is still the minority of men. I mean, I just want us to be here. Merriam-Webster, combining or exhibiting the essential characteristics of a group. All right, let's see. Oxford, typical. Having the usual qualities or feature. It is not usual for men to be predators on children. That's not usual. Exhibiting the qualities, traits, or characteristics that identify a kind, class, or group. So this just not correct. I understand that we're upset with men. I understand we're upset with black men. I understand. However, let's and the very first thing that some of you will do is try to call me a mammy for speaking the truth, and you try to call me out my name and all of this. It's inappropriate. I mean, look, don't use the internet to say things you wouldn't say to a person's face. It's like, let's want to stand for truth, okay? Let's want to stand for truth. Capricorn, it is not typical. It is not. It is not. It's not typical. Show the evidence that this is typical. Show the evidence that it is typical, right? He drugged and capital R worded, he battered, drugged, and harmed a child. That's not typical. That's not typical. And if you want to choose to think that it is, I'm not going to argue with you. Go ahead. Feel that it's typical. That's fine. Do whatever. You feel however you want. But I'm not going to I'm not going to. I'm not co-signing that. You can go live your life like that if you want to. Go around thinking that that's typical. Go live your life like that. That's on you. It's underreported. Yes, it's underreported in all communities. 95% of assaults are not reported. And listen, 60%, so people are saying that 40 to 60% of Black girls are harmed in the Black community. And from what the data shows, one person has the potential to harm 17 people. And so one person this is why it's important to report these things, because one person, one offender has the ability to harm 17, make victims out of 17 people. So it's not the vast majority of men, it is a minority of offenders that actually go this route. Yes, there are too many men out there who do SA. There are too many. But let's not I understand people want to get caught up and die on the hill of the word and be like, yeah, this is typical, this, that, and the other. I encourage us to take the opportunity that when we are wrong, that we can, you don't have to say anything else. You don't have to continue to post what it is that you're wrong about, as if the more you post it, the righter you're going to become. It's like you all want men to admit when they're wrong, but you can't even admit when you're wrong about a definition. Ugh. So in that picture, someone is saying that the woman in the red boots was 16 when he took her away from her mother. This person right here. So apparently, this is something that he's been doing for quite some time. This is his MO, and apparently, he has a hankering for children. He needed to be put away a long time ago, and I'm glad that he is being put away now. So, nonetheless, all right. I appreciate you all coming out. I'm glad that I had that smoothie. That smoothie gave me some energy to enliven me. I feel much more invigorated. I appreciate you all coming out. Let me read the apples. Karen says $5 and says showing my support 1010. Thank you. I appreciate that. Daily positive affirmation since $3 and says the TKO bell inspiring another hour on the treadmill. Oh my goodness. How many hours are you going to be on the treadmill? Remember, balance and consistency are key. Bisen sends $5 and says, glad I caught a show. Been working a lot. I'm glad you caught a show too. Halima sends $1 and it doesn't have a message on there, but she sends the $1 to support. Let me refresh. All right, and then let me check the PayPal, and then we're going to give our self-love lessons, and then we're going to get out of here. So let me go to the PayPal and check and see. Oh, why did I clicked on the PayPal, but it did not pay. There we go. Oh man. I really do wish he was put on the registry as well. Victoria sends $10 through PayPal and says, thanks for this update. Sad thing is, when a victim doesn't want to testify, the perpetrator gets off easy. I know from experience. Oh, and it cut it off right there. Show. Oh, I'm seeing if I can see the whole message. view messages. It's not, it cut it off at that part. So it's not showing me the rest of the message. But yeah, no, I feel you on that. So thank you, Victoria, for that. I'm clicking to show history, clicking the message. It's not letting me see the message. But thank you. Hopefully I'll be able to see it from the computer. That's the alarm letting me know that we have been going for another 25 minutes. So I'm actually not going to go for another 25. I'm going to let us get out of here. I want to see your SLL. What is your self-love lesson from today's video? Go ahead and type SLL and let me see your self-love lesson. What did you learn about loving yourself from today's video, this video? And just type SLL and make a statement from the I or me standpoint. Okay? There's right now 1,000 people on YouTube, 90 to 100 people on Facebook. Go ahead and thumbs up the video, like the video, share the video. If this is your first time coming across my stuff, make sure that you know how to reach me again by liking or subscribing. You can also get a text whenever I go live. The link to do that is in the description. I'll also put it here in the comments. www.tonyatko.com/TEXT. This was a heavy topic, much healing. Yes. Khadija says, stay away from all black men. If that's how you want to do it, if that's how you want to live your life, go ahead and live your life that way. I'm talking about loving yourself. Let's speak from the I standpoint and make it a statement for what it is that you do want. So if you're going to stay away from all black men, who is it that you are going to be around? Speak for what it is that you do want, because just like the men in the manosphere who are talking about what they like about other women is that they're not black women. Why even mention black women? Just talk about what it is that you want. Just talk about who you are going to be around, etc. Get back to a biblical life, get married, and stop chasing fame. That's your self-love lesson. So you're chasing fame? Okay. Well, let's not talk about what we don't want. Talk about what you do want. The self-love lesson can come from that standpoint. I protect myself and my children. There's no nots or don'ts, so just I protect myself and my children. Let's shift away from the nots or the don'ts or the won'ts. Just talk about what you do want. Capricorn is starting her sentence with a never, so I'm not even going to read it. Let's move on. I want to see I and me statements speaking from what it is that you do want, not what you don't want. It doesn't make any sense. SLL is to be aware of the signs. Okay. I will always trust my gut instincts and protect myself. I bet the character, I want the divine to protect me and my kids. So let's speak from the positive affirmation. The divine protects me and my kids. Life, do you even know the identity of the person? You go find the dad. Go contact them and go look for the father. Maybe he's dead. I will continue to protect my daughter. You know what? Here, Khadija, let me show you something real quick. You annoying me. And Arisha or Bisha, you're about to be next. Stop this. Stop this. Look, I here, you know what? Here. Let me, Arisha, you too. Come on. Listen, I'm going to let you all go. Let me say my self-love lesson from today. My self-love lesson from today is, you know, I'm actually, this is on the periphery of the broadcast. And I would say that there is life in fruits and veggies, because after I had that fruit smoothie, I feel invigorated with life. Having the proper nutrients on the inside protects us, protects our energy. Well, let me say for me, having the proper nutrients gives me the ability to withstand and to rise to the occasions that are demanded of me. So so that's my self-love lesson, because I was really not feeling the video after the smoothie. I felt, and I'm glad that I took that little smoothie break, even though a portion of the broadcast was in silence. I'm glad that I did what I needed to do for myself, especially on a heavy topic like this. The last thing I want to do is to be tired, worn out, and thirsty and undernourished. So yeah, so versus I see the word without in there. So talk about what it is that you do want, not what you don't want. So listen, on that note, I'm going to jump out of here. Thank you all so much for coming out. Go out there and love one another. Most importantly, love yourself. And I appreciate all of you for coming out. Thank you so much for being a part of the broadcast. And that's pretty much it. I appreciate you all. We should be getting back into regular videos tomorrow. Make sure that you are on my other page as well, which is www.youtube.com/@TonyaTKO clips. All right. I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.